Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Bredhorst, President and CEO of More Than Rewards, the creators of HogManager.com. For those that don't know, More Than Rewards is the leaders in online software and productivity suites for motorcycle and powersport dealers throughout the country. Today, I'm going to be giving you a walkthrough of the Hog Manager. Okay, to get started, what you're going to need to do is go out to www.hogmanager.com. There you can see the login screen where you can use your username and password to log into the Hog Manager. If you don't have a username and password, you can give us a call here at 414-326-4100 anytime Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. Our offices are located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so it only takes about 24 hours once you do that. We just need to get some information from you before we activate your account. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is log into my demo account here to get started. And you can see that once I log in, this is going to take me to the main interface screen of the Hog Manager. Across the top, we're going to have some information about our chapter, as well as how many people might be requesting to join online, how many active members we have. There's some demographic details, as well as you can control the chapter settings and your personal settings. There's going to be a dash or a toolbar, I should say, rather, across the top, which is going to give you direct access to various functionality inside the chapter, which we're going to go over in detail here in a second. And then below that, you're going to see the dashboard. Now, the dashboard is really designed to be a one-point view of everything that's going on at your chapter from a single screen. You've got 6 modules on that dashboard, with the first being a chapter email summary. And we always recommend that you collect as many emails as you can on your chapter members because with the Hog Manager, you can send communication out through email. So you can do things such as newsletters or any sort of email blast that you like can do can be sent directly to your members' emails. So this will tell you how many emails you've collected and how many you're missing. We've also see the one just to the right of that is the members requesting activation. Now, these are members that have filled out information online and would like to join your chapter. And the idea is they submit their information online and then they bring in a form that they have to sign, which automatically gets pre-populated from the software. And all they do is they sign this form, they submit payment, and then they can join your chapter that way online. Now, before they do that, these members are considered pending members because they've just requested that they join the chapter, but they haven't actually attended a meeting or paid any dues or done any of those sorts of things. So the next one over is the chapter inbox. This is designed to be a basic email inbox functionality so members can log in and submit emails or questions to the chapter. Because the other thing that goes along with the Hog Manager is a custom personalized member portal. So all of your members will have a unique password protected portal they can go to log in and access information about the chapter. With that, they can submit emails or communication to the chapter, which will appear in the chapter inbox here. Um, Here we've got upcoming events. This module is going to show you any of the upcoming events you may have on your chapter calendar. And you can have these calendars published to the portal so members can actually see these calendars as well. You can tie things such as documents to the calendar. So maybe you've got a PDF download that the member can see of the upcoming event. There's also a reward program built into the system as well. So you can reward members points or cash back for attending meetings or attending events also, and we'll get into that when we talk about the calendar functionality. To the right of that, we've got newsletters and docs. This is going to allow you to create groups and categories to post newsletters to or documents. So you've got things like ride reports or maps or sign-up forms or newsletters, whatever have you, can be posted to the document center, which can be made available for your members to download and view. To the right of that, we've got members expiring in the next 60 days. With the Hog Manager, you have the ability to either set up the members to expire on an annual basis. So maybe at the end of every year, that membership will expire and then they'll have to renew again next year. Or some chapters, what they'll do is they'll actually have the membership expire on a select day when the member joined. And so everybody will have a different expiration date. The system's smart enough to know that when their expiration date is, and to give you a notification that these are the members that are going to be expiring here in the next 60 days. So just kind of skimming across the top, we're going to take a look at the dashboard, or I'm sorry, each of the toolbars in the tool. And I'm going to go into detail each of these screens here as we zip across. So starting from left to right, we've got the dashboard. The next one is the chapter members. This toolbar is going to allow you to do things like add and edit members. So you can add members to your database, manage members, download members, search for members. Your next one is your query list. This is going to present the member data in almost an Excel-like view that you can edit and manage. So maybe if you only wanted to filter ladies of Harley, for example, or maybe you just wanted to filter members who have paid dues, or just members with officer titles, all that can be done through the search member list. Transfer reward cards is going to allow you to basically transfer a member's reward card to their H.O.G card. So those that don't have a reward program at their chapter, this might not make sense, but those that have it, what happens is the dealership can have a reward card that customers can use when shopping at the dealership. Okay, now what you can do with the H.O.G Manager is you can customize these reward cards with the chapter's logo and the look and feel, and then what you can do is convert a normal chapter reward card to a custom H.O.G card. So I'll just zip ahead to show you that. This is an example of a custom H.O.G card. So the idea is that we can create custom H.O.G cards for you, and those can be made available to your members. You don't have to have the cards. These are strictly an optional thing. The next thing is going to be the communicate with members. This is where we're going to have the inbox, where all of our messages will appear to us. We can do our send emails through this screen as well. We've got documents and newsletters, and we can do mailing labels as well. So we can automatically create Avery labels that can be printed out for different mailing activities or mailing events. Manage events is where we're going to have the ability to create our events, view our event calendar, as well as using a portable card scanner. The portable card scanner is a handheld unit. It's probably as small as a credit card. It's fairly small. And the idea with this thing is you can walk around and scan people's cards when they come to an event like a ride or a meeting and use it to track attendance. So the days of writing everybody's name down in paper on a book can go away with this H.O.G scanner because basically all you do is you walk around with this thing, scan people's cards, and then you upload them to the H.O.G Manager, and you can automatically track those people who attended a meeting or an event. It'll tie back into a reward program, so if you'd like, you can even give them reward points or cash back or different things for coming to events or rides. And we'll get into more of that when we create an event. The next thing is going to be the member-only portal. This is going to be that custom personalized portal I was talking about. Every single chapter member has the ability, if they are an active H.O.G member, to access this personalized portal. And what this is a website that they can go to, log in, that's password protected, unique with their username and their password that they pick. And they can access things like see the upcoming events, see the events they participated in. So then they can see their activity. If you've got rewards turned on, they can even see any rewards or points they've earned for participating in rides or events. You can see things like they can upload their pictures or their motorcycle bikes as well. And I'll show you how that looks also. But basically, what the portal is it's going to connect your chapter with each person on an individual basis. And then when that person is no longer a chapter member, or maybe their dues have expired and they chose not to renew, the system will automatically shut that portal off, disabling their username and password. So then they'll no longer be able to access that private chapter information and everything. I showed you a little bit about custom cards. These are going to be some of the examples of the cards that you can have created. Again, the cards are optional. You don't have to do custom cards, but we do offer that service for you if you'd like. Reports is going to give you a series of reports ranging all the way from, mailing list to a phone book to financial reports as far as how many dues were paid on a particular month. We can even track tender type, to see how many dues paid by check or cash or credit card. You can see that we've got reports on unsigned waivers, people that have expiring national dues. There's a whole slew of different reports which will help you manage your chapter from the reporting menu. So that's a little bit about all the different things. Now let's go into each one of these and take a look at them, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is take a look at chapter settings. Chapter settings is going to allow you to configure your chapter preferences. Traditionally, when we set up your account for you, this is the type of information that we'll probably request to get your chapter set up. Here you can see that we've got chapter number, the name of the chapter, our primary contact, our mailing address, chapter website. You can configure, when members will renew their dues, if it's on a certain day or it's based on the member expiration date. You can indicate how much your dues are and what you charge for your dues, which can be used in financial reports. So it'll show you, who has met the requirements of paying their dues in full. We've got our from address, which is going to configure any outbound email that you send from the chapter. Who is that email going to come from? as well as the dealership contact information. So obviously, every chapter is going to have a dealer tied to it, and we just need to know who those dealer contacts are with the mailing address of those dealers. Here we've got the reward options, so you can configure any of your chapter rewards through these options. You can do things like do cashback rewards or point rewards. Probably the most popular is using a point reward system. So maybe when I come to a ride, I might get 10 points for a reward, and maybe 100 points might equal a free chapter pin, let's say. So I come to 10 rides, I get 10 points a ride, I got 100 points. So in that scenario, I probably would get a free chapter pin for participating on 10 rides. And that's how the chapter rewards work. It's designed to replace punch cards or other things like that if you're using that to track who's attending rides and who didn't. You can even track volunteers separately than a normal a member. So maybe a volunteer might earn more rewards than a normal a normal member. Again, you can turn that off if if you don't want to offer rewards. Going across the top here, we've got linking this hog to a chapter. Obviously, everybody will be linked to a particular dealership. So we need to link that to the dealer. So if you're in a situation where you maybe have one hog chapter to more than one dealership, so maybe you've got two dealerships and only one hog chapter, you can link both of those dealerships to to this particular hog chapter through linking a hog chapter. Here we've got a list of administrative users. You can see that there's a couple different types of users from a security level standpoint. Here we've got administrators who are basically can do anything on the Hog Manager. We've got dealer employees, so these could be like your dealership owners or marketing people at the dealership. Will have access to Hog Manager as well. Supervisors are going to have access to everything except for massive updates. So a supervisor would not be able to import a new Excel document of a new member, for example, where an administrator would. So traditionally, that's to prevent people from accidentally deleting data by doing mass updates. So most of your admin type people would be supervisors with maybe one or two administrators. And then eBlasters is going to allow those people to just send emails out so they can log in and do e-blasts out to chapter members such as newsletters and that. Read-only is going to allow them to access Hog Manager, but they can only view the data and read the data. One thing to note is that normal chapter members do not have access to anything in here. So everything that I'm showing you is really only designed to be used with those chapter officers. A normal Hog member would actually go to a separate website that they would log into and have access to their personalized portal. So anything that I'm showing you here, keep in mind this is really designed strictly for like chapter officers to be managing the Hog chapter. It's not designed for the chapter members to be in here and doing things. When we go over to that said, we go over to chapter officers. This is where we can then upload pictures of our chapter officers, because on our member portal, when we get into that, you're going to see that there's an area on there where people can actually see who those chapter officers are. So here we've got the director of one of the chapters as well as an assistant director. And we've got their pictures out there. You can zoom over their pictures and it'll pop up and give you a higher res photo of that person. You can click their names and it'll send an email to those people as well. You can also delete and edit them if you'd like also. So the idea is you go into chapter settings, we customize it and configure it to match your chapter's information. And then once it's set up and it's in there, you really don't have to go into chapter settings, anymore at that point. The next one over here is going to be the My Settings. This is where you're going to manage your own personal settings. So for any people out there that have used things like like Hotmail or Yahoo Mail or MySpace or something where it's like you have to log into it. Basically, everybody has like a personal settings page they can manage their username and their passwords and their setup. That is what My Settings is. It's going to allow you to change your username or your password. If you change mailing addresses, you can come in here and update your mailing address as well as your member status and everything. So now jumping over back across the top here over to chapter members, let's take a look at this, okay? We're going to go into add edit members. This is where we can look up chapter members and manage those people that are part of our chapter. When we look here, we've got some simple search boxes. We can pull people up by their last name. So if you don't know how to spell their last name, you can type in like parts of their last name. It'll bring back anybody, for example, that has a last name starting with BRE. The other one here is located pending vouchers, okay? You can set something up where people can go to your chapter website, sign up online, and it'll print out a voucher. with a ticket number on it that you can put in here, and it'll pop up and bring up their contact information. And all you have to do is make them active and accept payment. So this is great for those membership officers out there who are tired of having to spend all their time doing data entry. You can offload this in a way to your chapter members and say, look, go out to our website, fill out the information, and then bring us in the form. And then when they come in, all you've got to do is pull them up by their last name and make them active rather than having to retype all their information again. Okay. That being said, there's a couple different types of members status. There's 3 actually, and you can see under stat explain, what that is. But basically, what we've got is we've got active members, pending members, and archived members. An active member is somebody who is currently paid in full, have their dues paid up. They're currently an active member and enrolled in our chapter. Pending people are those who have maybe wanted to join, submitted their information online, but have not actually paid their dues yet, have not filled out the proper paperwork to join the chapter. So they really are in a pending state at this point before they become an active member. A lot of times if somebody's dues expire and they don't pay them right away, people will switch them to a pending status to kind of give them a grace period, of a week or so or whatever before they totally cancel them and shut them off. They'll make them a pending member until they're able to pay their dues. An archived member are people that are no longer members of the chapter. So rather than deleting their information, our system, you can archive it. So that way later on, if they come back, a year later and they say, hey, I want to rejoin this chapter again, rather than losing all their information, you can pull their information up by last name, and all you do is you flip them from archive to active and collect their dues, and now you've suddenly made those people an active member. It's also a great way to maybe market to those people and say, look, it's been 6 months since you've left our chapter. What was wrong? Why don't you join us up again? Give us another shot and let us know. And people can choose to take their names off mailing lists like that as well. Every chapter member has the ability to opt out of lists as well. So from a privacy standpoint, all of this information is controlled by the member. All this information belongs to the chapter or to the member. And members can opt out of receiving these emails or these notifications and stuff that you might send them. So in that case, I'm going to pull up a person here to show you. So I'll put the last name in here, and I will spell it right. Let's see here. Okay, and so we're going to bring up Larry Telling here. We can see that this person here has the reward number of this. Okay, now that's important because if you are using our reward system, you will have to have a reward card number to take advantage of rewarding people for going to events and things. If you don't want to use the reward system, then a lot of times this reward number will be blank. You can see that we've got a username and a password to log into them, and we see that they're an administrator on the system. We also have their H.O.G number here, as well as their expiration date, their H.O.G join date, and their national expiration date. It'll indicate if they're a life member or not, or if they paid their dues in full. So you can see that this particular person has paid their dues in full. When we go to record payment history, we can see any of the history as far as check, cash, credit card, or what have you of that particular person. We see that they've paid in full. We also see that they've signed their waiver. They are not a Ladies of Harley member. They are not a Chapter Life member, and they do want to get emails and they do want to get snail mail, with the chapter. We see their expiration date here as well as their join date and some of their contact details also. We've also got notes, so you can capture additional notes on that person. Again, these notes are private so that they won't actually see them. So if you want to just put a note in here just for the chapter officers to remember, you can capture that, by putting that in the notes field. And then if there's a field on here that you want to capture that is not available, we've tried to do our best to try to add all the pertinent fields for your chapter. But however, some people want to create additional data fields that they want to collect information on. So using the custom field option, you can actually come in here and hit create, edit. And if we scroll down, you can see that I've created several different custom fields, such as last edit, mail name, don't delete, drop date, exclude, and so forth. Again, these are custom to that chapter. So if maybe for example, if they want to be able to track, a field called exclude here, you have the ability to track checkbox fields or text-based fields. So using the custom data field. So with this, you're able to track any type of data that you want, even if the data is not currently in the H.O.G Manager database. You can add those fields to the H.O.G Manager database, and it will track those fields. Okay. When somebody comes in at the top, you're going to see that we've got for Larry here. Let's pull him back up again. There's this section called Total Cash Credit. Okay, adjust view history. This is view history is going to show you a detailed summary of any events that Larry participated in. So we can see that Larry was at the holiday party. Larry was at the chapter meetings. He went to an event card credit night. And any rewards that Larry has earned, it's going to show any reward money that he earned for attending events or points, as well as if he actually volunteered for those events also. So it's a great way to keep track of his activity and what he's doing. And from the portal standpoint, he can log into his personalized portal and see this information as well. He can say, hey, look, I was at the holiday party and I got 10 points for coming to the holiday party, you know. Um, and so this is kind of a detailed summary page on that chapter member. Now, if you're in a situation where you want to drill down and get more information than just pulling somebody up by their last name, maybe you'd like to do different queries or different search patterns, that's what the search member section is for. Okay, so a search member, you can come in here and search on any kind of data that you want. Any field that you want can be searched on through the search member page. Going across the top, you see that there's a text box field that you can type in. So if you're looking for somebody that has a particular birth month, if we hit this drop down menu, you can see that every single field in our database can be searched off of. So if we want to find somebody by phone number, we can put in home phone, put their home phone number in, and it's going to automatically bring back all the active members with home phone number. If you'd like, you can search pending or archived members as well. There's some quick searches up here as well. So as far as members who owe us dues, members who have not signed their waivers yet, ladies of Harley, members with officer titles, people that don't have reward numbers in the system, people that are having birthdays next month, which is a great way to send out birthday cards. So if you want to send out birthday cards to somebody, hit birthdays having next month, and then you can scroll down here, and all of this data can be exported to Excel, which then you could do like a word merge or create labels to send these particular people birthday cards next month. You can see below we've got a grid view that you can double click on. So if you want to edit somebody's information, you can just tab across here and edit their data. If you don't like the order that these columns are in, you can drag these columns like Excel and move them over. So maybe I want to put last name over here on the left, and I want to put phone number right after it. I can do that. I can also right-click the column and check which ones appear. So I'm going to say, all I really care about is the first name of the person. So I'm going to uncheck all these other columns. And you'll notice how our column order is shifting around as we uncheck these things. So you can actually adjust the view as well. After you've adjusted the view, if you hit export results to Excel, whatever you've done here can be exported to Excel. So it's a nice way to manage your data and really tweak it and play around with it without having to have a lot of knowledge of Excel and Excel filters on all that. You can just go in here and pick which fields you want to display and then export for whatever reason, if for some reason you'd like to export the data. You can also push send to email results. So maybe I want to, instead of sending a mail out, I'm going to hit send birthdays next month. And rather than sending them a physical card, I'd like to send them an e-card or a birthday card through email. I push that button, I come over here and I hit send email results. I come over here and I hit this button, and it's going to bring it into our email system where it's going to automatically have all of their names and addresses and all this data here. And then we've got an email to going to those people. So we can come over here and we can say, happy birthday from H.O.G. Hey, happy birthday, and you'll notice how it says dear first name. The system will automatically customize it with their first name. So like here we might have dear Art or dear Bill or dear Brian. The system's going to automatically do that using that wildcard of that first name field on the to box. So you can see it's very easy when we're talking about communicating to members. You just push a button and it instantly is brought into this webmail form where you can send emails to these members. Okay. Going back to the transfer reward card section, this is going to allow you to transfer a membership reward card to a H.O.G card. Again, this only applies to those chapters where their dealers have a reward program with more than rewards. If your dealership does not have a reward program with more than rewards, this feature here would probably not be available to you. Okay. When we go to communicate with members, we've got our inbox. So you can see that this looks very similar to any other webmail inboxes that are out there, like Yahoo or Hotmail or Gmail or any of the other systems that are out there on the internet. The idea is that your mail can come in here and you can click it and it'll pop up and say, this is a test from Lawrence Telling. And if you'd like, you can hit reply and write back to that particular person. Or if you want, you can create a folder here and drag it and file it away. So if I want to move this particular email into the 2008 members list, I've just moved that from the inbox into a folder to archive it away. Pretty straightforward. It's like any other email system that you see out there. Same is true with send members email. You're going to pull up an inbox here. You've got insert addresses. It's going to automatically bring back your address book of every single member you have in the system. So if I want to send an email address to Larry here, I can type in his last name and it'll hit go. It's going to bring back me the results with anybody with that last name, and I'm going to check his name and say insert contact. And now I can type him a message to send him out an email through this system as well. Okay, so the same is true. That's kind of our inbox and our sending mail feature. The other things we can do is manage newsletters and documents. So let's say we've got a newsletter that we've got. We can hit upload document, and we can select the file off of our computer, give it a category, give it a name, and a title, as well as the order that it appears in. You can see in this drop-down list, we just have a category of newsletters. Let's say we want to edit the category, and maybe we want to add another category called, let's see, meeting notes, let's say, and hit save. And now when we go to upload that document, you'll see that now we can post that document to the meetings note category as well. We go back and we view the document. Here we've got a newsletter that was uploaded, and basically this can be a PDF document or a Word document or whatever kind of document that you like that you can upload. And it's password protected because people have to be logged in to the member-only portal to view this particular newsletter or this particular document. So that's going to be what our chapter newsletters and documents are. Creating mailing labels is going to basically a way to automatically generate mailing labels. So the idea is you go out to Office Depot or Office Max and buy some labels. Avery 5160 are the most common labels that are out there for doing mailing labels. And all you do is you come here and you hit this button, and it's going to automatically download a PDF file of all the mailing labels for your active members for you. So for those people that maybe are not as computer savvy as far as creating mailing labels in Microsoft Word, you can just hit this button. It'll automatically do it for you rather than worrying about how doing it in Microsoft Office or Word or something. Okay. Manage events. This is going to be creating an event. You can see here that there's a couple different options we have when we create our event. We've got the event name. We've got an event description as well as an address. So, I'm going to say, let's see here, my ride. And I'll give it a category here, so I can say this is a ride, a meeting, or a dealer event or benefit. And if you don't like these chapter types, you can change the types if you'd like. I can indicate if I want it to be a private or a public one. Public meaning that the members can see it. Private meaning that only chapter officers can see it. I can attach a document to it as well as pick a day of the event. I can even put my address in here. Let's just see here. 627 Milwaukee Ave, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then if I want to test the address, it'll pop open in Google Maps here, and you can actually see that it'll have that information right there in Google Maps so that way your members, when they go out to the website and they want to go to the event, they can hit get directions, and it'll automatically create a Google Maps direction list for them of how they can get to the event. So it's a nice integration into Google Maps. We can also indicate if we've got chapter only rewards. So we've got 3 different types of rewards here. We've got the chapter rewards, okay, where you can do points or money for attending an event. We can do volunteer rewards. So if you're a volunteer, what type of rewards do you get? And then we've got dealer only rewards. Now these are unique to the More Than Reward customers, motorcycle dealers that are taking advantage of the More Than Rewards loyalty system. If your dealership does not offer rewards and loyalty through More Than Rewards, this option will not appear here, and you'll basically be using one of these two. But the nice thing about this is that a lot of times your dealers may sponsor an event and say, look, well, we're going to give our chapter 100 points for our reward program if they come to an event, and they can use those points to come into the dealership and cash those points out towards gifts like T-shirts and hats and free merchandise or cashback discounts and stuff. So it's a great way to tie the dealership back to the H.O.G chapter and to incent the H.O.G chapter with discounts and money from the dealership. So that's kind of what the dealer rewards is as well. The idea is that you create your event. It appears on our calendar here, and you can see all the upcoming events that we've got going on. So we've got the holiday party here, as we've got an event card event, a chapter meeting, and you'll even see a list view of those events that are happening. So if we pick one of the events, for example, like, I don't know, the chapter meeting, let's say, here we can view the attendees of an event. So I can see that 2 people in this particular option attended the event. Now, you can track meeting attendance using those handheld scanners. So when you scan cards with those scanners, they'll upload here as a meeting attendee. Or if you don't want to get the scanners and you just want to track it through the web, you can come over here and put their information in and pull them up by last name, and I can say, okay, well, looks like Paul here attended the event. He was a normal event attendee. And when I do that, I've just added now Paul, you can see, to the event as attending that event. Reason that's important is because from the reporting side, you can download lists of who attended an event, and you can see who's participating in your H.O.G. You know, and a lot of the chapters run into challenges where people will join the chapter for a discount or something like that, but then they'll never actually participate in any activities of the chapter. By giving reward points out and tracking who attends events will help reduce that from happening, I should say, and get your people participating more in chapter events. It'll get people to go on rides more. It'll get people to come to meetings. And because what you're doing is at this point, you're rewarding those people who are actually participating, and somebody who's not actually participating and doing anything are not maybe going to get as many rewards as somebody that does. Okay. So that's kind of why the tracking of the meeting attendance is important, but there's probably a lot of other reasons why you may want to track meeting attendance as well. You can track it by reward number. If you don't want to track it by last name, you can do it by reward number as well. So it's pretty straightforward. So far, everything I've showed you should be fairly easy to use. We've gone through a lot of testing with different types of users, from the very technical people to the very kind of non-computer savvy people. And what we found is that most people can easily jump on the H.O.G Manager and navigate their way around fairly easily. Everything should be fairly straightforward for most people. For example, the invite members to a portal. What this is this is going to be somebody, you can send an email out to any of those members who don't have username and password set up. So if you want to send an email out to and invite them to use the member portal, you can hit that option, and it's going to automatically create an email saying, hey, look, we noticed that you don't have a username and password set up. You should go out to our chapter's website and create yourself an account and access the portal online. So that's kind of what this member portal link is. It's going to talk about, how to use the member portal. And I'm going to show you how that works in the very tail end of this thing, the member portal. So you'll get to see that in a second here. We're almost done, actually. We've only got a couple other things left. The chapter cards I've showed you. I think we also went into the reports. So every single report that you see here can be viewed on the screen and exported to Excel. Some of the reports you can even export to PDF files. For example, the phone list. Like, let's say we want to get a nice phone list that we can put in a 3-ring binder, take a 3-hole punch to it, punch it, stick it in a book. So then we've got a directory or a roster of everybody who's an active member in our chapter. You can do that by generating phone lists. Here you see the system automatically created an Excel doc or a PDF document for me. And it's going to have, like sorted by alphabetical order, very similar to the way like an Outlook would do it. It's going to list them all out here by first name or last name. We've got their name, address, email. And all you do is you print this thing out, do a 3-hole punch, stick it in a binder, and now you've got yourself an active phone book for your chapter members. So you're going to find that there's all kinds of reports like that, from the phone list to the mailing labels to, people that participate, as well as the financial records here as well. A lot of the accountant type people, the guys that handle the money and everything at the chapters, they love this system as well, because it allows them to easily track monies and dues through these download reports. The chapters like it and the dealerships like it because a lot of times there's a disconnect between the chapter and the dealer. With these reports, you can see things like people who purchase bikes. Okay, this is going to tie back to your dealership. So now every time somebody buys a motorcycle at that dealership, they can have a report show the chapter of who those people are. So that way, if the chapter wants to contact them and say, look, hey, we see that you bought a motorcycle. Why don't you join the H.O.G chapter? You got a free coupon to join the H.O.G chapter. Let's get you signed up to the H.O.G chapter. And it's going to, display that information through that report. In return, it can go back the other way where the dealership can now see, hey, who's our H.O.G chapter members? Let's make sure we put them in the cash register system correctly so those people get discounts or special purchases. Right now, a lot of times they're sending emails back and forth or files and documents, and things are getting kind of lost in translation between the chapter and the dealership. What these reporting functionalities will do is it will actually connect a lot of the chapter data to the dealership data and vice versa. So all that said, that's kind of a quick overview of everything that's in H.O.G Manager. I could probably talk all day about this, so I'm going to just jump to the very last thing, which is the personalized member portal, and we'll wrap things up. All right? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just take you to the personalized portal for the members. I'm going to access this through the dealership's website. However, you can easily put logins to the chapter website as well. So if you'd rather direct people to the chapter website rather than the dealer, or you can do both, dealer or chapter, where they log in at. So I'm going to go over here to the chapter website. I'm going to log in with my username and password, which I created. Let me just do that here. Okay. And when I log in, it's going to load my personalized portal for me. Okay. So you can see now I'm logged in as my dealerships at the top. Any promotions or specials that are going on at my dealership I can access, as well as any of my pictures, my dream motorcycle, anything that I want to upload, as well as any money that I may have earned, my shopping or upcoming promotions at the dealership. Okay. Dealer news also. Now, all the dealer stuff aside, at the very bottom, what you've got is you've got the chapter information, okay? So here you can see that I'm a member of the Motor City chapter. It's going to have my expiration date on the top as when my membership is going to expire. You can see I've got some pictures of the chapter officers, my chapter number, as well as any chapter events that are going on. So I can see any upcoming events, when those are, what those dates are. If I hit the details on the reward, I can see any reward money that I might earn for participating in a particular event. I can also see any participation that I've done. So I see here that it looks like I actually attended a chapter meeting on 12/16. And if I scroll down, I've got my chapter news and documents. Now, what you probably notice is these sections match the same thing that's in the H.O.G Manager that we just went over. So when you post things to the H.O.G Manager calendar, those things will appear under the portal page for the people as upcoming H.O.G events. When you add them as attendees, all the attendees for those events will appear here for that person under the attendee participation list. When you post documents like newsletters to the document center, you can see that the documents will appear here as well. I don't know if you remember, I created a meeting notes category. That category is also made available here too now, so people can flip to a different category. If I want to contact somebody at the chapter, I can hit Contact Chapter. And now this form's going to get filled out where I can fill out my information, and that email can automatically put in my chapter inbox. So as a member, when I log into my portal, I can then submit information or letters or email or whatever to that chapter through these forms. I can link directly to the chapter's website if I want to go there also. So that's kind of a quick summary of the portal. I mean, the idea is that you've got this personalized portal that members can access. Then you have the H.O.G Manager where people can manage and control their chapters. And then there's also, obviously, all the More Than Rewards software suites, which ties back to the dealership where they can do reward and loyalty programs for customers outside the scope of the H.O.G chapter. So anyway, if you've got any questions, I do appreciate the time. Give me a call here. You can ask for me. My name is Jason. Or you can talk to anybody here, really, at 414-326-4100 is our number. Give us a call. We'll get you set up with a new H.O.G Manager account here today. Be prepared to give us some of the information like your chapter number, what your dealership is that sponsor you guys, their contact information, because we do need to confirm that you are a valid H.O.G member in order to set you up with an account and everything. Also, it does help if you have a document such as Excel with all of your chapter members in it, because then what we can do is import that document into your account as well. So then you can instantly have all of those members that are in your Excel document imported in to your account. So if you've got any questions, give us a call. Thanks again for the time. Hopefully this was helpful and informative. We look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.